We'll keep this hopefully fairly brief, although it's fairly intense, especially if you want to consider the idea of being an educator in your niche. So we'll get started real quick and stop saying so many times. So let's get started. And we're going to be talking about building your business, implementing, getting to action, and grow. And so we have been talking about these principles which have moved. So I'm going to move them back down again. Develop your core principles. We also talked about developing your entrepreneurial mindset, because without mindset is everything. Without your mindset, you're never going to succeed. You're going to develop your brand, position yourself as an educator, do a weekly workshop, build a product snowball, develop a strategic marketing framework that you like and will attract your business, create a content factory, build a massive network, become a media mogul, get into production mode, build a learning center, create an online community, raise and build affiliate fans who will help you to grow, and put systems in place all at the same time, because it's all interactive. It's all interrelated, and so you can do any of these things at any time. So let's go look at what we're going to talk about today, which is positioning yourself as an educator in the sub-niche. Now, for those of you who don't know what a niche is, it's basically a section of the world, or the section of an idea, of a business idea. A sub-niche could be as small as being a Cairn Terrier fancier, but it might be a bit too small. But it's basically, the niche would be dog fanciers, and then a sub-niche would be smaller than that. But of course, you will be so amazing that you could talk to anyone. So what is principle 1 of being an educator? Well, it's more about your mindset and knowing who you are and what you're doing. When we enter a new niche, we aren't asking for permission to be in that niche. We aren't asking people to see us as an educator, to see us as an influencer, to see us as an expert. We have to know already that we are an expert. We aren't paying our dues. We don't need to be recognized by someone else, be certified. We know we are an expert and we're an educator, and that we want to educate on this subject. So we're serving people that don't know yet if they need our help or not. So you have to have the mindset that you have value, you want to train on that value, and you want to share that value with others, because you know about what the value is as an educator and the information. So we're going to teach what we know until we start to build an audience. So the first few episodes of any trainings can be quite quiet, but people will be attracted to you as they learn more about who you are and what you value and what the skills and trainings you can share with them. And we're going to teach through the weekly workshop and our products and our content, our brand, and our email marketing. So we're going to be sharing and educating at all times what we know about this niche, and then they will see you as someone who is of value and is got the information that they need. So you can't wait until someone says, oh, you're an expert, you teach. You have to start teaching. You have to be an educator, as just begin doing it, even if you don't have an audience, is the point. Don't procrastinate and say, okay, I need to get 300 followers before I start sharing and educating and doing a weekly workshop. You have to start doing it without an audience. You have to know that you have value that you want to share as an information marketer, and you know that you're going to be of value later as well, and those who find your information of interest will follow you. So we don't need to ask permission to be sharing what we know in this niche. So for example, I am thinking about doing a workshop on becoming visible, in terms of many ways that you can become visible. And the reason that I feel that I can do that is because I have been visible in different markets. So I don't need permission from anyone else to say I'm a visibility expert. I know that I have value to share, and I don't need permission from anyone to share that and do a weekly workshop. So I have a feeling I'll be doing one on that. I also think I'll be doing a workshop weekly on artificial intelligence. I will also be doing a weekly workshop on streaming television, because these are three of the ways that I think all tie into my rule number one of the internet, is to be visible on the internet. So anyway, that's me. What about you? What are you have value enough that you can share and in your niche? So what do we need? Well, we need a way to deliver the live trainings to public and private audience. And of course, I know all about that. I know about how to do that. We need a way to archive that training and make it watchable on demand. So that's simple enough. We can go to YouTube, and we need a way to advertise the archive. And so, of course, that's strategic marketing. We need something that we sell that demonstrates our expertise. So, for example, this training now is selling my expertise. We need multiple ways of driving people to our weekly training. So whether or not we like it, we can have to use maybe social media marketing. We will also need to send information out to our email list, as well as posting on YouTube. Whenever you do lives on YouTube or Facebook Live, you can do an event that you can set up, say even up to a week beforehand, saying that you're going to be doing this training, and people get notification on that. We need a way to process of driving people to our weekly. We need a process to drive people to our weekly trainings. So having them sign up to an email list or having them sign up to a Zoom link will they will get notified when, and then a webinar obviously link, they will get notified beforehand that we're going live with our trainings. So we're also going to need to develop a unique position. So we're going to have to be able to figure out what's unique about us and promote it. So spelling position wrong is not usually what I do, but your unique market position will be determined what you choose to sell. So obviously, if I choose to sell on streaming television, then I will be showing people how, my experience on streaming television, for example. They will dictate what your marketing and training will be all about. So my unique position, let's just say for streaming television, is that basically anyone can get and do a television show on streaming television, and I will show you how. But everything you sell ought to have multiple USPs. So what does that mean? There needs to be something that makes it so that people have to come back to you for some part of the sale. As an educator, you're teaching people how to make the most of what you sell them. So obviously, as an educator, you have to do how-to. You have to show them how they can also be an expert in the same workshop information as you are sharing. You show them then how doing what you say in your training with what you have for sale helps in any way that you specify. So remember, we have that product snowball, which has products that are relevant to your weekly workshop. And your weekly workshop is basically based on you being an educator. And so it's all intertied. So you need to have products to sell which are relevant to what you're educating in your weekly workshop. So what is your big goal for your customers? Well, there are many goals you could have, but a large part of your unique market position will be determined by what you're helping your people to accomplish. So whatever that is, it needs to be clear, clarified, and re-emphasized. It needs to be repeated. Your goals need to be always talked about in your trainings, in your topics, in your emails, in your promotions, and your products. You have to have a goal for your customer that will attract them to still be on your list. So, for example, if I do my weekly workshop on streaming television, my goal for anyone who attends and buys my products would be that they would have an amazing streaming television show that they can put up on streaming television. And part of that, of course, would be using my services to get up there. But in terms of creation of their streaming television show, they would have to be the one who works through all that. So I need to make clear in all my trainings and topics that that is the goal. If you have information, it should be all over what you're ultimately trying to help them to accomplish. So that doesn't mean that everyone has to agree with your big goals. Some will purchase for a reason that don't necessarily involve you or how you operate. So immerse yourself in your topic right now, because you're going to be training on it. You're going to be educating on it. So you've got to go and find out as much as you can about your topic. The key to being an educator, where there is so much competition, is to have information where you can immerse in your topic and you will find things that people don't know. That probably means reading everything there is, listening to what's available, following the other influencers, following your competitors, and having an opinion on it. And of course, you can write about your opinions on various things. Because you have expertise, you will help your customer by helping them figure out who to listen to. And this by default will force you to repel certain people because you're going to have an opinion. A pro, and as I mentioned before in the brand, your brand is what you stand for and stand against. So you're going to have to make it clear what your opinion is. But it will also attract certain people who will be interested in what you do and more likely to buy from you. You will solidify your position through whatever your content channel is, whether it's a blog, podcast, video, television, community, or some other combination. But it should be evident in your discussion that you are immersed in the topic and you're willing to educate them on the topic and your weekly workshop for free. Make your core principles known in your training as you develop them. This is a consistent way to build your brand, determining what you believe and repositioning based on that. Core principles will come from the top down or from whatever you're able to sell. And in other words, if you choose to create products based on what you believe, that's only okay if you know it's going to sell. At some point, though, you will need to make sure that you don't sound like everyone else, even if you're teaching similar things. So you need to develop your unique selling proposition, your USP. Ultimately, positioning yourself as an educator is more about what you do in your business and what you say about yourself. Do the things that educators do. Be a teaching marketer. So this is a new concept for some people, being a marketer is, of course, to market what you sell. But in this build your business principles, we're talking about teaching about your ideas and about your information so that it attracts people who are interested in your information, who want to follow you and see your weekly workshop and win a product offer which is relevant to your weekly workshop, is something that they could use, then they will buy it. So you're creating sort of a vortex of principles, and let's go over those again, which will all of these will help you build your business and grow. So knowing what your core values are and making sure your entrepreneurial mindset is willing to do, as I mentioned, the mindset traits before in the other episode. This will help you to develop your brand and develop your core values and position yourself as an educator in your niche, so that you do a weekly workshop which is relevant to your niche and build a products that are relevant to your weekly workshop, which will be products that your customers want, and then develop a strategic marketing framework, creating a content factory from your weekly workshop. So take clips of your weekly workshop, couple of sessions or slides, so that you can share it out in the internet, maybe make content like ebooks or even do social media posts. As well, at the same time, you're creating a vortex by connecting with others and building your network, whether they're affiliates, whether they're partners or collaborators. You're just building so you can get in a larger audience reach. And at all times, make sure you're a media mogul, which is basically concentrate on only one media. Mine is video. Someone else could be a podcast, or someone else could be a Facebook group. And get into production mode of developing your learning center and creating an online community and building an affiliate fans and putting systems in place. So all of these are related, and they're all based on your core values, your brand, and positioning yourself as an educator doing a weekly workshop. And this weekly workshop will be relevant to your topic and what you want to sell, and it will of course have products to sell at the end of the weekly workshop, which is free. But at the same time, you're attracting an audience. At the same time, you're getting affiliates who want to promote your products because they're relevant to your weekly workshop, and you'll grow your audience, etc. So it's all very much a vortex of building. So if you want to join for the other free trainings and go through them to get some ideas on how to develop your weekly workshop, etc., you can go to http://jgtips.com/bybfree, BYBFREE, and you will find training there, as well as you can sign up and get registration to go and see the 52 weeks. Right now there's 36 will be in there at any time, and pick the ones that are relevant that you feel you want to learn first, and for free. So thank you for listening. This is Jane Gardner.